Hey everyone, Sebastian here, back again with Math Module 2B from Bluebook Test 1. We keep going. This one is question 15. This is getting, more interesting. They're getting more challenging, but I'm going to show you how to do this one. I'm going to show you two ways to do it. One is the long way, conceptual, so that you understand why it works the way it works. And then the other way is the shortcut with Desmos. So let's get started. 64x squared plus bx plus 25 equals 0. In the given equation, b is a constant. For which of the following values of b will the equation have more than one real solution? Okay, so how do we find when it'll have more than one real solution, right? That's the question. So when will this equation have more than one real solution? So think about it graphically first, right? This is a parabola because it's an x squared equation. When you have that, you can have either it going above, and that would have no real solutions. It going below, also no real solutions. It going up, but crossing twice, two real solutions. It going down, crossing twice, two real solutions. Or it just being tangential and touching just once, one real solution. Okay? And you can have that going down as well, right? So it's saying it has to have more than one real solution, and that it will. How are we going to do that, right? So the way I'm going to think about it is think about the quadratic equation. Okay, so we have negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, right? And the way you know how many solutions you have is by something called the discriminant, which is just the inside part of the quadratic, of the square root. Okay, so when we have that, what you can do then is you can find it based off of that. So if that part equals positive, then the square root would be real, and we would have a plus and minus version, so we would have two solutions. If b squared, so I'll write that here, right? So b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, two solutions. B squared minus 4 equals 0, right? The square root of 0 is just 0, plus or minus of 0 is the same thing. So if that happens, we're going to have one solution. And if b squared minus 4ac equals, or is not equal, but is less than 0, 0 real solutions, right? So that's the equation version, right? So this right here would be, let's say we had a little graph, crosses twice. This right here, we have a little graph, crosses exactly once. And this right here, we have a little graph, never crosses, okay? So that's what we're talking about. And what we want, right, is to have more than one real solution. So that just means two solutions, right? That's the only options for this. So how are we going to get that? All right, so let's do, remember here, we have 64 as the A value. And we have B as the B value and 25 as the C value. Okay, so with that, we can go from there. So we're going to plug in what we know and then solve for B squared, right? So we need the two solution value. So for that, it's going to be just like this. So b squared minus 4ac, b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0. Okay, and now we plug in. B squared stays b squared minus 4 times 64 times 25 has to be greater than 0. 4 times 25 is 100. 100 times 64 is 6400. So b squared minus 6400 is greater than 0. So b squared, not greater than 0, sorry. We add 6400 to each side. B squared has to be greater than 6400. So it could be anything where when we square it, we would get something greater than that. So we're going to square root both sides. Square root both sides. And that's going to give us, when we go right here, b is greater than plus or minus, well, there's two options, right? B can be greater than plus 80, and b can be less than negative 80. Because the square root, right, will work that way. So if we look at our answer choices, not B, not C, and not D, it is A, right? 91 squared would be, a little bit above 8100, around 8200 something. So that would work, and that's our answer. So now you can see how to do this graphic, or do this conceptually, right, with the math, so you understand why it works and how it works. But if you were confused, you could also just do Desmos, right? And plug in each answer choice and see where they cross twice. So, all right, so with this, right, let's say you plug in 40 for D, right? You see how it never crosses the x-axis, right? It's going to give us a negative discriminant, so that would work that way. If we plug in 5, same thing, right? If you plug in negative 80 for B, right, it's going to cross exactly once. We could zoom in and see, right? The vertex is right there. So that's crossing once because it's 0, and then if we plug in negative 91. So you can see there, right, when we graph, we get what we want, but it's helpful to see how it works in the equation to understand it, because they'll make it more abstract. They can do it more abstractly, and then you would not be able to use Desmos. But Desmos, if you can use it here, that'll be really fast, right? So I hope that helped for today. Again, it's pretty quick either way, as long as you know the rule about the discriminant. And if you don't know the rule about the discriminant, you can use Desmos, just sort of plug in, guess and check almost, right? So I'll see you all next time. If you have any questions on this, let me know. They're getting trickier now, but they are getting more fun too, so I am looking forward to the rest. Bye.